जय प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद जय श्रील प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद जय श्रील प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद जय श्रील प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद श्री गुरु चरण पद्म केवल भक्ति सद्मा श्री गुरु चरण पद्म केवल भक्ति सद्मा बंद मोहि सावधान माते बंद मोहि सावधान माते जाहर प्रसादे भाई ए भव तोरिया जा जाहर प्रसादे भाई ए भव तोरिया जा कृष्ण प्राप्ति होय जहाँ होते कृष्ण प्राप्ति होय जहाँ होते गुरुमुख पद्म वाक्य सितते कोरिया आज्ञा गुरुमुख पद्म वाक्य सितते कोरिया आज्ञा আর না করিহ মনে আশা। আর না করিহ মনে আশা। श्री गुरु चरणे रति ऐसे युतम गति। श्री गुरु चरणे रति ऐसे युतम गति। जय प्रसाद पूरे सर्व आशा। जय प्रसाद पूरे सर्व आशा। चक्षुदान दिलो जय जन्मे जन्मे प्रभु से। चक्षुदान दिलो जय जन्मे जन्मे प्रभु से। दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशित। दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशित। प्रेम भक्ति जाहा होते अविद्या विनाश जैते। प्रेम भक्ति जाहा होते अविद्या विनाश जैते। वेद गाये चरित। वेद गाये जाहर चरित। श्री गुरु करुणा सिंधु अधम जनार बंधु। श्री गुरु करुणा सिंधु अधम जनार बंधु। लोकनाथ लोकेर जीवाना। लोकनाथ लोकेर जीवाना। हा हा प्रभु करो दया देह मोरे पद छाया। हा हा प्रभु करो दया देह मोरे पद छाया। हे बेजास घुसुक त्रिभुवन। हे बेजास घुसुक त्रिभुवन। जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा। प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा। जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद। प्रभुपाद 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 प्रभुपाद। जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaur Hari Bol. जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की
जय श्री गुरु गौरंग गंधर्व गिरधारी श्री राधा गोविंद जीव की जय, जय सच्चिदानंद गौर हरि की जय, जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा की जय, नित्य लीला प्रविष्टम विष्णु पाद परमहंस प्रभुराज के चरित्र सतर्थ श्री अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी महाराज शिल प्रभुपाद की जय। ISKCON BPT फाउंडर आचार्य डिवाइन ग्रेस एसी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी शिल प्रभुपाद की जय। नित्य लीला प्रविष्टम विष्णु पाद परमहंस प्रभुराज के चरित्र सतर्थ श्री डिवाइन ग्रेस शिल भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर शिल प्रभुपाद की जय। महाभागवत शिल गोरक्षदास बाबा जी महाराज की जय। सच्चिदानंद शिल ठाकुर भक्ति विनोद की जय। वैष्णव सार्वभौम शिल जगन्नाथ दास बाबा जी महाराज की जय। शिल गौड़ी वेदांताचार्य शिल बलदेव विद्याभूषण प्रभु की जय हो। शिल वैष्णव शिरोमणि शिल विश्वनाथ चक्रवर्ती ठाकुर पाद की जय हो। नरोत्तम श्यामानंद श्रीनिवास आचार्य प्रभु त्रय की जय हो। कृष्णदास कविराज गोस्वामी प्रभु की जय हो। श्री रूप श्री सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री गोपाल वरदास रघुनाथ षट गोस्वामी वृंदावन धाम की जय। नामाचार्य शिल हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण को गोपनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरी गोवर्धन की जय। वृंदावन मथुर धाम की जय। मायापुर नवदीप धाम की जय। गंगा देवी जमुना देवी भक्ति देवी तुलसी देवी की जय। स्वाम वेद भक्त वृंद की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। All glories to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. Hari Naam Sankirtan ki jai. Naam Sankirtan Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada transcendental book distribution progress. All glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. जयो राधे जयो कृष्णा जयो वृंदावन। जयो राधे जयो कृष्णा जयो वृंदावन। जयो श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मदन मोहन। श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन। कालिंदी जमुना जयो जयो महावा केशी घाट वंशीवत द्वादश कानन जय जहाँ सब लीला कोइलो श्री नंद नंदन जय श्री नंद जसोदा जय जय गोपागन श्री दामादि जयो जयो देनु वत्सगन जय जय वृष भानु जय कीर्तिदा सुंदरी जय विष्णु जय जय पौर्णमासी जय अबीरा नगरी जय 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 गोपीश्वर वृंदावन माँ जय जय कृष्ण सक बतु दिजरा जय जय राम घाट जय रोहिणी नंदन जय 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 वृंदावन वासी जत जन जय जय द्विज पत्नी जय नाग कन्या गाना भक्ति तेजा हारा पैलो गोविंद चरण जय श्री रास मंडल जय जय राधा श्यामा जय 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 रास लीला सर्व
Played by USB Drive. FM AU Bluetooth mode paired.
जय 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 ज्वल रास सर्व रास सा परकिया भावे जहाँ व्रजत प्रचार श्री जानव पाद पद्म परिय स्मरण जय दीना कृष्ण दास को है नाम संकीर्तन जय जय राम घाट जय रोहिणी नंदन जय जय राम घाट जय रोहिणी नंदन जय 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 वृंदावन वासी जता हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे हरे
Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Samasitam Buddha Sundarangam Kandar Ako Vikamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Angani Asa Sakalen Priya Priti Manti Pasyanti Panti Kayanti Ananda Chinmaya Sadhu Jala Vigrahasya Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam
दे दो गोंग दे दो गोंग 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 हाँ ये तो गोंग बोलते हैं ना पूरा गाना 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 पूरा आपका इच्छा प्रलय पयोधि जले धृतवान् शिवेदम् विहितवहित्र चरित्रमकेदम् एवरीबॉडी प्रलय पयो वेदम् विहितवहित्र चरित्रमकेदम् केशवधृता मीन शरीरा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे केशवधृता मीन शरीरो जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश क्षितिरिह विपुलतरे तिष्ठति तव पृष्ठे धरणिधरणकिन चक्रगरेस्ते क्षितिरिह पुलतरे तिष्ठति तव पृष्ठे धरणिधरणकिन चक्रगरेस्ते केशवधृता कूर्म शरीरा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे केशवधृता कूर्म शरीरो जय हो जय बलदेव जय जगदीश हरे जय वसति दशन शिखरे धरणी तव लग्ना शशिनी कलंक कलेव निमग्ना वसति दशन शिखरे धरणी तव लग्ना शशिनी कलंक कलेव निमग्ना केशवधृता शुकर रूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे बोलो बोलो केशवधृता रूपा तव कर कमल वरेणकम् अद्भुत शृङ्गाम् दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृङ्गाम् तव कर कमल वरेणकम् अद्भुत शृङ्गाम् बोलो बोलो दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृङ्गाम् केशवधृता नरहरि रूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे बोलो बोलो केशवधृता चलयसि विक्रमणे बलिमाद्भुत वामन पदनक नीरजनित जन पावन विक्रमणे बलिमद्भुत वामन पदनक नीरजनित जन पावन केशवद्रीता वामन रूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय केशवद्रीता वामन क्षत्रिय रुधिरमये जगदपगत पाप स्नपयसि पयसि समित भवताप क्षत्रिय रुधिरमये जगदपगत पाप स्नपयसि पयसि समित भवताप केशवद्रीता भृगुपति रूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे केशवद्रीता भृगुपति रूपा जय जगदीश हरे तरसि दिक्षुरणे दिक्पतिरमणीयं दशमुखमौळिबलिं रमणीयं रमणीयं दशमुखमौळिबलिं रमणीयं केशवद्रीता राम शरीरा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे केशवद्रीता देवसनं जलदाभं अलहति बीतिजमिलित यमुनाभं शिवपुषि सदेवसनं जलदाभं अलहति बीतिजमिलित यमुना केशवद्रीता हलधर रूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे केशवद्रीता हलधर रूपा जय जगदीश हरे नन्दसि यज्ञविदेर् श्रुति जातं सदय हृदय दर्शित पशुगातं केशवद्रीता बुद्ध शरीरा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जगदीश हरे केशवद्रीता जय जगदीश हरे जय म्लच्च निवह निधने कलयसि करवालम धूमके तुम इव किमपि करालम म्लच्च वह निधने कलयसि करवालम धूमके तुम इव किम अपि करवालम केशवद्रेता कलकी शरीरा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे केशवद्रेता कलकी शरीरा जय देव कवेरिदम उदितमुदारम शिनु सुबदम सुखदम भवसारम श्री जय उदितमुदारम शिनु सुबसम सुखदम भवसारम केशवद्रीता दशविध रूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे हरि बोल हरि बोल डोंट टॉक यू सिंग केशवद्रीता दशविध रूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश जय केशवद्रेता हलधर रूपा जय जगदीश रे जय जगदीश रे जय जगदीश रे जय केशवद्रेता हलधर रूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय बलदेवा जय बलदेवा बलदेवा जय बलदेवा जय कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल जय प्रभु पदा जय प्रभु पदा प्रभु पदा जय प्रभु पदा जय राधा गोविंद राधे जय सचिनंदन गौर हरे नंदन गौर जय गौर हरे जय गौर हरे जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेवा जय सुभद्रा जय बलदेवा जय बलदेवा जय बलदेवा जय बलदेव जय जय बलराम जय बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम जय बलदेवा जय सुभद्रा जय बलदेवा जय सुभद्रा ताई गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताई गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताई गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल जय बलदेव पूर्णिमा की जय बलदेव प्रभु की जय बलराम जी की जय श्री श्री राधा गोविंद जी की जय जय सचिनंदन गौर हरि की जय जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा की जय गुरु परंपरा की जय निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल all glories assembled devotees Hare Krishna all glories assembled devotees Hare Krishna all glories assembled devotees Hare Krishna all glories Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga all glories Srila Prabhupada की
Bluetooth mode. Play by USB drive.
Smartphone, you can download this song. जय जय नित्यानंद रोहिणी कुमार by Vrindavan Das Thakur. Kindly, you have smartphone, na, everybody? You don't have the song book, so you at least download the song. You have a smartphone? So download this song. Jai Jai Nityananda Rohini Kumar. Jai Jai Nityananda Rohini Kumar. Jayo Jayo Nityananda Rohini Kumar. Jayo Jayo Nityananda.
Hare 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 Krishna.
Jai Patita
Hare
Udara Lagi Dubahu Pasha. Gada Gada Madhura Madhura Ado Bola. Madhura Madhura Ado Bola. Jare deke tare prema Dori deya kola. Jai Daga Maga Lochan Guraye Nirantara. Sonara Kamale Jeno Firaye Brahmara. Dayara Takura Nitai Paradukha Jane. Hari Namer Mala Ganti Dilo Joga Jane. Jai Papi Passion Dari Jato Korilo Dalana. Jai Dina Hina Jane Koila Prema Vitarana. Ahare Gauranga Boli Pade Bhumi Tale. Sharira bijilo nitaer nayaner jale. Jai Vrindavana Das Mane ei vicharilo. जय धरणी उपारे कीब सुमेरु पड़िलो जय 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 नित्यानंद रोहिणी कुमारा पतित उदार लगी दोहु बाहु पसारा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे बोलो एवरीबॉडी कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा हरे राम हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा रे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम हरे 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 राम हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय बलदेवा बलदेवा जय बलदेवा जय बलदेवा बलदेवा जय बलदेवा गौर हरि बोल गौर हरि बोल निताई गौर हरि बोल गौर हरि बोल जय बलदेव प्रभु की जय श्री नित्यानंद प्रभु की जय. So we'll read the translation of this song because somehow Nityananda Prabhu and Baladeva are very intimately connected. They are both non-different. All glory to Sri Nityananda Prabhu, the son of Rohini. To deliver the fallen souls, he extends his two arms. With a voice choked, he stammers sweetly. Whomever he sees, he lovingly embraces. Overflowing with prema, his eyes always roll about restlessly, looking like bumblebees hovering over a golden lotus. The merciful Lord Sri Nithai knows the sufferings of others. He has strung together a garland of the holy names, which he has bestowed upon the people of this world. He has subdued the sinners and the atheists, but he has distributed prema to the poor and the lowly. Calling out, alas, O Gauranga, he falls to the earth. Nithai's whole body becomes soaked with tears from his eyes. Within his heart, Vrindavan Das considers Nityananda Prabhu to be like Sumeru mountain falling upon the earth. वंदे हम श्री गुरु श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्री गुरु वैष्णवां च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगुण रघुनाथां तां सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजन सहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादं ललिता श्री शाखान्वितांशम् ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाक चक्षुरुन्मिलितं तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने. नामस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे. नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती इति नामिने. श्री भाषवानवी देवी दयिताय कृपादेव कृष्ण संबंध विज्ञान दायिने प्रभुवे नमः. माधुर्योज्ज्वल प्रेमाद्य श्री रूपानुग भक्तिदा श्री गौर करुणा शक्ति विग्रहाय नमोस्तुते. नमस्ते गौरवाणी श्रीमूर्ते दीनतारिणी रूपानुग विरुद्धापाप सिद्धांत द्वांतहारिणे. नमो गौर किशोराय साक्षात वैराग्य मूर्ते विप्रलंबर सांबोधे पाजाम्बुदाय ते नमः. नमो भक्ति विनोदाय सच्चिदानंद नामिने गौर शक्ति स्वरूपाय श्री रूपानुगवराय ते. गौरवीर भाव भूमे स्व निर्देश सज्जन प्रिय वैष्णव सर्वभौम श्री जगन्नाथाय ते नमः पंचकल्पतरुस्य कृपा सिंधु पतितनां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदाय ते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामने गौरतिशे नमः हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी शवानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिय जयतां सुरतो पंगोर्मोन्दमतेर्गति मत्सर्वस्य पदाम्बोजौ श्री राधा मदन मोहन दिव्यात् वृंदारण्य कल्पद्रुमद श्रीमद रत्नांगर सिंहासनस्व श्री राधा शिल गोविंद देव पृष्ठालिपि सेव्य मानव स्मरामि श्रीमन् रासरसारंभिमं शिवत ततस्थित कर्षण वेणु शोणैर गोपी गोपीनाथ श्रेष्ठना वृंदाय तुलसीदेवाय प्रियाय केशव सचा कृष्ण भक्ति प्रदे देवी सत्यवत्तये नमो नमः पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूप सर्वकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तिशक्तिकं जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे वन मोर टाइम हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So today is a very auspicious day, Baladev Prabhu's appearance day. So Baladev Prabhu, he is so important for us. He represents the Akhanda Guru Tattva. The Guru means one who is representing Baladev. So there is two verses which is there, which was quoted by Vaishnava, great Vaishnavas, Mahabhagavas. Namaste tu halagrama, namaste mushalayuda, namaste revati kanta, namaste bhakta vatsala, namaste dharani dhara, namaste balinam shreshta, pralam bhare, namaste tu trahi mam krishna purvaja. Obeisance to you, O Baladev, O holder of the plough. Obeisance to you, O builder of the maze. Obeisance to you, O darling of Revati. Obeisance to you, O kind benefactor of your devotees. Obeisance to you, O upholder of the earth. Obeisance to you, O best of the strong. Obeisance to you, O enemy of Pralamba. Please deliver me, O older brother of Krishna. So today is a very special day, Avirbhav Mahotsav of Sri Balaram. So this will be, we will try to speak something about Baladev Tattva. Because unless we understand Baladev, our feelings towards Krishna consciousness will be just sentimental, remain sentimental. Because the spiritual master is supposed to be the representative of Baladev Prabhu. So he is the original spiritual master. So we have to see our Guru Parampara, from Krishna down to the our Srila Prabhupada, and also continuing afterwards. They are all should be seen as representatives of Baladev. Otherwise, we will think he is an ordinary man. After all, the spiritual master, of course, in the presence of Prabhupada, you can never think of he is an ordinary man, because he has accomplished great things. But after that, whoever has come, they may or may not be on that platform yet, but they are going towards that platform. So, but if you notice that if you think that they are ordinary souls, then immediately you will drop from the spiritual platform to the material platform. In the Shastras it is said, one should not think Krishna is an ordinary human being. Just because his pastimes happen to be very amazing. It is easy to say God is great by seeing the universe, material universe. Because who can create such big things? Not ordinary person. None of us created the sun or the moon. So some Mayavadis, they may think they are God. But what have they done? Nothing. Zero. Nothing. And Krishna, Radharani, Baladev, all the Brajavasis, all the inhabitants of Vaikuntha Loka, including the chief predominating deity there, Narayan, they are not ordinary people. Who would have 4 arms? We cannot imagine anybody having 4 arms. Only Narayan has 4 arms. And what to speak of the spiritual master? He cannot be considered as ordinary human. As soon as you think he is ordinary, you will fall into the platform of duality. Because duality comes when we think that we are this body. That's how it starts. So he is as good as I am, because he has all the faults like I have. So what's so special about him? And then what to speak of? It is even extends. Vedic culture says the guru, the brahmana, the king, the husband, the parents, all have to be considered as representatives of Krishna. Not only that, it goes further, that all living entities, including the birds, bees, humans, everybody, should be considered as representative of Krishna. Because Paramatma is residing in everyone's heart. So as soon as you think they are ordinary living entities, then you think you are the Lord of the universe and I can kill them or do whatever I want with them. So this is how it extends so far. That's why in Vedic culture, we give respect to everybody. We don't go and embrace a snake. That is not possible. Because snake has its own swabhav. It will bite you. So be distant and respect. And India, the many Westerners, they come to India, they see the Indians worship everything, trees and birds and snakes and whatnot. There are all types of temples, rats and elephant head. They cannot understand how this is happening. But unless you have this vision of Krishna being situated in everyone's heart, you cannot respect, what to speak of worshipping. That's not possible. So therefore, Baladev Prabhu has come to give us that knowledge of Krishna. See? Janma karma chame divyam yevam yo veti tatvataha. The subject of Bhagavan's birth and activities are all divine and wonderful, as well as incomprehensible to our mundane intellect. That's why Krishna said, Janma karma chame divyam. Otherwise, even though he has done amazing activities, lifting the Govardhan hill, dancing on the head of Kaliya's snake, who can do it? Have you ever seen anybody dancing on a snake? What to speak of seeing a snake with hundreds of heads? We have never seen anything like that. Therefore, these shastras, which are accepted by our acharyas, we have to also accept in the same spirit. Otherwise, you will think it is a mythology. This is a mythology. Somebody has made it up. You think our acharyas have no other business than reading and meditating on something which is made up? It's not possible. They have given up their sex desire. They are perfect sannyasis. You name it, every one of them. Madhvacharya, Ramanujacharya, Vishnu Swami, Nimbarkar, and all our acharyas. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, perfect sannyasi. How can you become a perfect sannyasi unless you give up full sex desire? If you still have sex desire, you cannot become perfect. You will become bewildered by material nature. And they have given up and they have accepted the authority of the Shastras. So it's important for us to know what is the position of Baladev Tattva. Hare Krishna, Mataji, Hari Bol. बात नहीं करना है, ठीक है? So we will just go through some of these wonderful verses of Baladev Tattva, which is there in the glories of Nityananda Balarama in the Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Lila. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Brahmabhutaishwaryam Sri Nityanandam Ishwaram Yaccheya Tat Swarupam Agnenapi Nirupayate. Ei Sat Shloke Kahila Krishna Chaitanya Mahimam Pancha Shloke Kahi Nityananda Tattva Simam. I have described the glory of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in 6 verses. Now in 5 verses I shall describe the glory of Lord Nityananda. Sarvavatari Krishna Swayam Bhagavan Tahara Dvitiya Deha Sri Balaram. The Supreme Lord Sri Krishna is the fountainhead of all incarnations. Lord Baladev is his second body. So if you want to download, this is chapter Adi Leela, chapter 5, text 4, 5, 6, like that. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Lord Sri Krishna, the absolute personality of Godhead, is the primeval Lord, the original form of Godhead, and his first expansion is Balaram. The personality of Godhead can expand himself in innumerable forms. The forms that have unlimited potency are called Swamsha. Forms that have limited potency, the living entities, are called Vibhinamsha. So this is so scientifically our acharyas have given definitions, like axiomatic truth. You know, if you have studied mathematics, their axiom, you cannot deny, you have to accept it. And as you proceed with your mathematics, you will understand why it is true. Similarly, our shastras are all like that, axiomatic truths. Therefore, because they are free, they are apaurusheya, they are free from 4 conditioned defects. To make mistakes, to imperfect senses, to get illusion, and to cheat others. These 4 mistakes are not there. So when Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami has written, he is not bluffing the people. He would not have known that this book will be printed in all languages of the world. At least when he wrote, it was only in Sanskrit and Bengali. So these are great personalities. They have done great, wonderful activities in describing and glorifying Krishna and his pastimes. So if we study that, and if we absorb these teachings in our heart, in our consciousness, then there's good chance that we will come to the spiritual platform. And what is the symptom of spiritual platform? Na sonchati na kankshati. Sama sarveshu bhuteshu mad bhaktim lavate param. So this is the indication. No lamentation, no hankering. If we are not in that platform, they will hanker and lament. Like our Arjuna also did. He was put into that condition by Krishna to give this knowledge. So there he explains that Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma na sonchati na kankshati sama sarveshu bhuteshu mad bhaktim labate. So nobody had to tell you you are a Brahman realized. Not you can prove to yourself. My mind is hankering or lamenting about trivial small time things, material things, because we lose something, we gain something, we are happy and distressed. If this tendency is not there, then there is a good chance that one is on the spiritual platform. And what is the symptom of that? Free from hankering, lamentation. Even the Mayavadis become free from hankering and lamentation. But mad bhaktim lavate param. That one attains pure bhakti to me, Krishna says. If that symptom is not there, then you are not yet there. So that's why Mayavadi says, Aruya krichena paramapada tatanti adha. So they may think they are very advanced, but any moment they will fall down. Because they are actually merging not into the Brahma Jyoti of Krishna. It's not possible. They have no relationship with Krishna. How can they go? They go up to the point of Brahma Jyoti of Mahavishnu. No? After all, Mahavishnu and Krishna are non-different. Both are having Brahma Jyotis. So therefore, they have no relationship with Krishna. They merge into the Brahma Jyoti and they feel, wow, the light. And then, because there is no shelter, no devotional service, no relationship with Krishna, they'll fall down. You see? But those who merge into Krishna's Brahma Jyoti, they don't fall down. Many of the demons are killed and they are absorbed into the Brahma Jyoti. They don't fall down. Whereas those who those who merge into the Brahma Jyoti of Mahavishnu, there is every good chance they will fall down. Because they have no sambandha with Krishna. And sambandha with Krishna comes only by the mercy of Baladev. You see? एक ही स्वरूप दोहे भिन्न मात्र कय आद्य कय व्यूहा काय व्यूहा कृष्ण लीला सहाय. These two are one and the same in identity. They differ only in form. Lord Balaram is the first bodily expansion of Krishna, and he assists in Lord Krishna's transcendental pastimes. Balaram is Swamsha, expansion of the Lord, and therefore there is no difference in potency between Krishna and Balaram. The only difference is their bodily structure. As the first expansion of Godhead, Balaram is the chief deity among the first quadruple forms and is therefore assistant of Sri Krishna in all his transcendental activities. So this is what a guru does. Sri Vigrahara Dhananitya Nana Shingara Tan Mandira Marjanadu Yuktasya Bhaktan Sanindatopi Vande Guru Sri Charanarvindam. He is training us in all these activities. And then in the Guru Ashtakam there is the Nikunja Yono Rati Keli Siddhai. So Baladev Prabhu, he participated in the Madhurya Leela as Ananga Manjari, not as Baladev. Baladev cannot enter. He is having a male form. How can he enter into Madhurya Leela? It's not possible. So that pastime is only for female. Everybody is a female there. The gopis and manjaris and everybody. The sakas also cannot go. Mother and father also cannot go. They don't even know such a rasa dance is taking place. They are thinking Krishna is sleeping in his bedroom. But Krishna has already jumped out of the window and gone. So he is having 24 hours pastimes. Day pastimes, herding the cows. Midday pastime, taking prasadam with all the cowherd boys. Breakfast pastimes. Radharani comes from Javat every day to cook for Krishna. And afterwards she goes to her house to meet Krishna at the Surya Dev temple. So this is the 24-hour pastime. But the night pastime, nobody can enter. And that Baladev enters as Ananga Manjari. There also, he is even the leader of Rupa Goswami. Very confidential truth. These acharyas have explained, at least we heard that. Of course, we are very far away from that realization. So we can see that Baladev helps, assists in all of Krishna's pastimes. That means it should also have Madhurya pastimes. Otherwise not complete, not all pastimes then. So this is the speciality of Baladev. So our business is to understand the position of Baladev. And that's why Guru Ashtaka prayers mentions this. Nikunja Yono Ratikiri. A real Guru who is Uttama Bhagavata is participating both in the Sadhaka Deha here and in the Siddha Deha there in the spiritual world. Both the pastimes simultaneously. Not only in his mind, he is meditating on Ashtakali Leela and this and that, but actually is Nikunja Yono Ratikiri. This is Prabhupada used to sing Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Kunja Vihari. Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari. This song is so confidential. This is the dearmost song, one of the songs of Prabhupada, which he would sing every day before Bhagavatam class. Today we did not sing because we sang some other bhajan. But the point is, Baladev Prabhu is participating in all the pastimes, assisting. He is the slipper, the shoe, he is the umbrella, he is Sheshanag, is on which Krishna sleeps. Special bed he has. Who sleeps on a snake? If you see a snake will run away from there. But Krishna sleeps. And all the universes are resting on the hood of Anantadev. And Anantadev is an expansion of Baladev. So how great is Baladev? We have to understand that. If we don't understand his greatness, we will not understand the greatness of spiritual master also. And such a spiritual master can only be Uttama Bhagavata, not Kanishta and Madhyam. They can also be spiritual masters, no doubt. In the 5th verse of Upadeshamrita, Prabhupada says that a Kanishta and Madhyam can have disciples, but they should not make disciples more than their level. And they should know that they will not make sufficient progress under their insufficient guidance. Therefore, one should seek the Uttama Bhagavatas as well, the spiritual master. So we are taking shelter of Prabhupada through his books, because unless we have this knowledge, we cannot make progress. We will not be able to make progress. We can be proud that I am also initiated. But how much are you understanding the Tattva and Siddhanta? So much to be understand. Like if you know computer science, everything is 0 and 1. What is called, what is binary number, 0 and 1. And this 0 and 1 is permutation, combination. You get all the apps and all the system. Everything is made on 0 and 1. So somebody has made, 1 is Krishna, 0 is Radharani. Somebody made a mention like that. Because without 0, 1 cannot have function. And 0 cannot independently exist either. In the number system, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 0 must come. So this is a very scientific principle also. Therefore, without Krishna's Shaktis, Krishna doesn't perform pastimes. Parasya Shaktir Vivadaiva Shruyate Swabhaviki Jnana Bala Kriyacha. Everything is there. Krishna, when he wants to perform his pastime, is not like a common, ordinary rickshawala or tangawala. He is the Lord of the universe. And when Krishna showed his Virata Rupa form in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Arjuna saw all these things, and then he got all bewildered. Please, Krishna, bring it back to your normal form. I can relate to it. We cannot relate to the whole universe. We are having some rain coming, we have to put our chata. When the sun is coming, we are having AC. Nowadays AC. When we were kids, there were no AC, no fans only came when I was 7 years old. 7 or 8 years old, when the fans came. Nowadays, without fan and without AC, nobody can live. Mayapur is full of AC everywhere. Prabhupada wanted a village, simple life, but if you have an AC, where is the simple life? And AC is one of the chief contributor to the climate problem. So if you are part of the AC culture, that means you are part of the problem. You are not part of the solution. That's why I carry a little fan with me. When I go in the train, I am fanning. Sometimes it is so many people. So sometimes people ask me, can I take your fan for a minute? And he's doing this and he's doing that. Because they have forgotten this simple lifestyle. And we are also in ISKCON, we are also becoming so much Yukta Vairagis that we will have to work hard to pay all our bills. Normally spiritual life is supposed to be so simple, you don't need much. But if you have too many components, then you have to struggle to pay this. It's not free. You know. At least when we were in our temple in Hyderabad, we had no fans. Hyderabad is the hot place, 50 degrees in the summer. We would sit there, have a nice class. There were hardly any fans there at the time. So it's very important that if you want to live in this world under the shelter of Baladev Prabhu, then we have to know what is the most favorable thing for our devotional service. Not make life too complicated. If you make life complicated, then however much you want have money, you will not be satisfied. Because that money is Chanchala Devi. She will not stay too long with you. She will leave. And when she leaves, you become poor like a pauper. As long as she stays, you are all happy. But when she leaves, you will see what's the story. Therefore, devotees are also sometimes worried about how will I maintain my family, Prabhu, if I don't get a job. Why? You know who Lakshmi is? Lakshmi is Narayan's consort. And Lakshmi is staying and is looking and searching for Narayan. This is exactly what Prabhupada taught. And I remember when I first read Bhagavad Gita, I was working in life insurance. We were not unemployed people who thought, okay, let us go to join Hare Krishna ashram and we get some prasadam and place to stay. There was no place to stay. It was a jopadi. Hyderabad was a jopadi party and Bombay was a jopadi party. Everything was a one tin shed, and that's what Radha Raspiyari stayed and Radha Madan Mohan stayed there. There was no facilities. And when we joined, people were criticizing, "Arey kya bhai, pura zindagi barbaad kar liya tum apna. Ye kya hai? Koi jagah mein aayenge?" You are having a good job, nice education, university number 3. What is this? But they don't understand that Lakshmi resides there. And now ISKCON has grown up so big. Many people want to join because there is so much nice, because they are unemployed. To get a job is not so easy nowadays. So let us join Hare Krishna movement, at least for some time. And many people joined the Bhakta program. I was Bhakta program in charge in Bombay. So we have in the rainy season, a lot of Bhaktas come. Because Bombay is not an easy place. So many people come from village to get a job so that they can work and send some money to their parents. But there is no place to stay. So they all join our Bhakta program. So sometimes we used to have 60 Bhaktas in a Bhakta program. And when the rainy season ends, all the Bhaktas gone. Because they have to work so hard in the temple, because Bombay temple is a big temple. So hard, no money, nothing, थोड़ा प्रसाद दे दो बस 20 लोग एक कमरे में सो जाते हैं. I was also sleeping there. But when the rainy season stops, all the rainy season crop has gone away. One bhakta may stay, that's all. Now the facilities are maintained, so we are making a lot of bhakta. Chalo bhai, any reason, yena kena prakarena manasa Krishna, some or other let them come to Krishna. Because they have to be very pious to come to Krishna. Why would anybody take shelter of Krishna? Chaturvida bhajante mam. So you have to have Sukriti to come to Krishna. You may have difficulty, that's all right. Your conceptions may not be very highly advanced, but coming to Krishna is our good fortune. I used to go to one Lakshmi Narayan temple every Sunday, because on the Saturday all the devotees come and offer peda and khoa and everything. So my mother would wake me up. I would not get Sunday school, nahi hai, chalo so jao. Hare, don't get up early, the prasadam will be gone in the temple. So I will just get up, take shower, go to the temple. So I know they are making fun of me. तुम लोग मेरा मजाक उड़ाएंगे, मगर खाने वाला तो हमें प्रसाद है. So they used to give me the pujari used to give me a big chunk of nice sweet khoa, and I would sit there and under the banyan tree and munch on it. So all these things come Sakriti, develop ho jata hai usme. And finally we came to Prabhupada. Therefore, Baladev Tattva is so important. Without the mercy of Baladev, we cannot make 1 inch progress. And until Baladev gives the mercy, we cannot even understand Krishna. You have joined Krishna conscious movement, but it is not like chant Hare Krishna, Krishna consciousness ho gaya. Prabhupada has written all these books. So you have to chant Hare Krishna and read all the books of Prabhupada. Then you understand the nitty-gritties. Like ordinary people, they count 1, 2, 3, 4, 10. They count, they learn arithmetic, division, multiplication, so many things. But they cannot become computer engineers. They only know the numbers, but they don't know the significance of the numbers. That, the binary number, those who know, they know the significance. And they can add and do everything, all jugglery, and they can produce so many things. Our computers are made, our mobile phone is made, everything is made, all the semiconductor industry is made with this science. So if that is possible by simply understanding 1 and 0, how much it is possible by understanding the greatness of Krishna through Baladev. So this is the great science. Our whole life is dedicated for this understanding and nothing more than that. Prabhupada said this movement is supposed to generate Brahmanas, and the Brahmanas must know this, not to get a job somewhere. Arey Prabhu, hum household rahe, kaisa. Household rahe to Brahman bano. Learn all the other things which a Brahman does, how to worship the Lord, how to do puja, how to perform homa, anything to maintain. You know how to cook, that is also wonderful. That is a Brahminical thing. I used to do cooking classes all over the world. So this is Brahminical activities. Patan, what? That's, I'm so bad in verses remembering. Nowadays, I'm going over 70, so slowly everything is going down. So this is one must learn. Then only you can live in a devotee, as a devotee. And on top of that, surrendering to Krishna. Every day one should worship the deity. Every day, all Brahmanas must worship deity. At least one Shaligram Shara. You read in our Advaita Acharya, how did he, what is the main reason for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's descent? The external reason in Chaitanya Charitamrita it is given. It is because of Advaita Mahaprabhu, Advaita Acharya's loud calling. By worshipping Shadikaram Shila, and he had this famous verse, Tulasi Dala Matrena, what is that verse? One nice verse. Tulsi and Ganga water you offer him, and he was staying near Navadip, and he would offer Ganga water and Tulsi, and then loudly summoned the descent of Krishna. To do this job, only Krishna has to come. Yuga avatar can do many things, but to give Krishna prem is not possible by any Vishnu Tattva. Not possible. Before that, Narsinghadev came and Varaha avatar came. They did not give Krishna prem. Krishna prem is possible only by Krishna. And therefore, Krishna descended. Antar Krishna, Bahir Radha. That emotion, that transcendental feelings. Because when you come to devotion service, Radharani is the chief guru. Baladev Prabhu removes the anarthas through his plow, and with his mace, mace gada, he destroys all the obstacles that is coming in the way of devotion service. And when you are ready, Radharani takes charge, how to engage in different aspects of devotion service. Baladev doesn't teach cooking, Radharani teaches cooking. Radharani's mercy is flowing. The whole Krishna conscious movement is based on Radharani's mercy. And this mission of this movement is to understand Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission. Praja Bhakti. Not anything else, not Vaidhi Bhakti. Vaidhi Bhakti is a start. ABC you have to start, you have to start somewhere. But really speaking, you should know how to speak spontaneously. Able to give answers to anybody asking questions. So Vaidhi Bhakti is very important so that we can walk properly, I can move properly. But eventually, we have to take responsibilities. That's when we know you're learning something in life. So, our serving Radha and Krishna, Prabhupada said, Radha and Krishna you cannot worship by Vaidhi Bhakti. Only by Rag Marg. And that is the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Anarpita charim chirat karunaiva tirno kalo samarpetam unnachojalarsam swabhakti irshayam. Hari purata sundara dhuti kadampa sandipata sada hridaya skandare spuratava sachinandana. This is the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So who is assisting all these things? Nityananda Prabhu. And who is Nityananda Prabhu is not different from Baladev. So let us go further. Up to what time is the class? What time is the class? 10:30. 9:30 or 10:30? He told me something more today morning. After that? 10 o'clock. Okay. After that Kirtan. Okay, good. So I've got a lot of nectar here. Jiva Goswami speaks about, let me see. This has come, lot of nectar came to me. I thought I should share something with you. Baladev Purnima, today is Baladev Purnima. तो आ रहा ही नहीं. Something very interesting I read today morning. Okay. Today is the appearance day of Rohini Nandan Baladev. According to Vedic scripture, Garga Samhita, Baladev appeared after Janmashtami. But if this is accepted, there would be confusion. Baladev would be older than Krishna by 1 year. Then they would not be able to play together, wrestle on equal terms, and have their name-giving ceremony performed for both of them at the same time. Therefore, Srila Jiva Goswami has explained, Baladev Prabhu appeared after Julan Yatra on the Purnima, the full moon day, and Sri Krishna appeared 7 days later on the Bhadra Ashtami. This is Jiva Goswami's statement. The auspicious 8th day of the moon in the month of Bhadra, August-September. After Krishna appeared from the womb of Devaki in his four-handed form of Vishnu, Vasudeva brought him to Gokula. That same Supreme Lord, the reserve of all relationship, simultaneously took birth in Gokul. There were two Krishnas. One appeared in Mathura, another appeared in Gokul. That is also confirmed by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, and there's an actual statement, as a verse there, which says Yashoda had two names, Devaki and Yashoda. And she happened to be a friend of Devaki, therefore she also had liked the name Devaki. So it is a hidden meaning. Krishna appeared, but actually he never got into the womb of Devaki. But he came from the womb of Mother Yashoda. So he is actually, Krishna is the son of Yashoda Nandan, Yashoda Nandan Shyam Sundar. That is not given, that credit is not given to Devaki. So let us see. Then as Vasudeva was placing him on Yashoda's bed, the expansion, Vaibhav Prakash of Krishna, who had appeared in the four-armed form, merged into the original form of Krishna, the son of Yashoda. So this happened, all this story. Even though Prabhupada also in his books refers sometimes Krishna foster parents, Nanda and Yashoda. Because to understand this, it takes a certain maturity. So he kept it very simple. Krishna is Nanda and Yashoda is the foster parents. And the original parents are Vasudeva and Devaki. But actually it is the other way around. Actually Vasudeva, Devaki, Krishna never became pregnant like that. In the same way, Baladev Prabhu's partial expansion first appeared in the womb of Devaki. Partial expansion. And then following Krishna's order, Yogamaya transferred him into the womb of Rohini in Braj, where he was already manifested in his full feature in her womb. In Vrindavan, Krishna is the son of Yashoda and Baladev is the son of Rohini. And they are the source of all other expansions. So when Baladev appeared in Devaki's womb, his partial expansion, what did he do? He cleaned up the womb. Because before Baladev, 6 babies came and were killed by Kamsa. So he has to clean that whole womb. And therefore, Baladev came and he did the cleaning job. And afterwards he was transferred to Rohini's womb in Braj. And then only Krishna appeared. But then also there's a very interesting thing which Acharyas have explained. Baladev Prabhu himself manifests in his partial expansion as Moola Sankarshan. And in Vaikuntha he manifests as Mahashankarshan. Mahashankarshan then manifests as Karno Dakshay Vishnu. From him Garbho Dakshay Vishnu. From him Kshiro Dakshay Vishnu, who is present in the hearts of all jivas. And his final expansion is the infinite Ananta Shesh. Throughout India, on this day, ladies bind Rakis. Today is also Rakhi Purnima. It's an interesting passage that says, on their brothers. Another name of Rakhi is Ananta. People used to wear these Anantas made of either gold or silver so that Ananta Dev would protect them. His sister means Baladev's sister, who is Subhadra. You see? Baladev Prabhu takes the form of Ananta Shesh, on whose coils rest Karno Dakshay Vishnu, Garbho Dakshay Vishnu and Shiro Dakshay Vishnu. He arranges everything for Krishna's manifestation. He becomes Krishna's sandals, umbrella, seat. In this way he serves them all. In fact, all that exists in Braj is Baladev's manifestation. Krishna is Sachidananda. Sat is Sandhini, eternal existence. Chit is knowledge and Ananda is Haladini, pleasure. Baladev is presiding deity of the first kind of energy, Sat, Haladini. Sandhini. This existence potency is actually, the existence means everything is included. The land, the river, this, that, trees, everything, everything. Deity of Ananda, Haladini. Srimati Radhika is the presiding deity of Ananda or Haladini. And joined together, Satchit Ananda is the knowledge in eternal spiritual existence which is full of bliss. This is Sachidananda Krishna. This is how our acharyas go into details about understanding Krishna. Because unless we understand Krishna, we cannot remain even simple. Even the great devotee, you know that famous devotee in South India, the Brahman who used to read Bhagavad Gita, who did not know how to read and write. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visits him, sees him, and then he is reading, tears are coming. All of them used to make fun, all the Dham Vasis there, Sri Ranga Dham, the children used to make fun of him. Oh, great scholar, you are reading Bhagavad Gita. They all know he doesn't know how to read and write. But he is reading it because his guru has ordered him to read. The guru also knows that he doesn't know how to read. But that is not the criteria. Knowing Sanskrit is not the criteria of achieving the highest perfection. There were so many scholars in India. But how many bhaktas are there? Hardly anybody. So therefore, that Brahman, he used to read Bhagavad Gita, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he came, he was noticing it. He is very enthusiastically. Of course, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself. He is in the heart of Brahman. He knows what's going on. So he is asking, why are you crying so much? Yes. Oh, what are you reading? First he is asked, what are you reading? Bhagavad Gita. Why Bhagavad Gita? Because my guru has ordered me to read. Therefore I am flipping the pages. And then he tells very clearly, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asks him, why so much tears are coming? Everybody is reading Bhagavad Gita, nobody gets tears. We are reading Bhagavad Gita, nothing happens. But the Brahman says, whenever I take this book, I get this picture of Krishna being the chariot driver of his own devotee. Simply to meditate on that, how great the Lord is, that he is ready to become the servant of his own devotee. Then tears come. Then what did Chaitanya Mahaprabhu say? You are the perfect student. He embraced him. To receive embrace of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not ordinary. Not everybody receives like that. You have to be qualified. But he, by that one qualification of tears flowing from his eyes on remembering Krishna, he understands all the Tattva and Siddhanta. He has not written a commentary of Gita or anything like that. He doesn't know how to read and write, so how can he write a commentary? But he knows everything. Devotees are not fools. If you are not a devotee, you cannot even get this feeling. You have to be a devotee. 100% surrendered at some point in time in our life. Without any doubt. If you have doubts, you cannot serve Krishna. Even Arjuna says to Krishna, what is this? Asamsayam samagram mam. What is that? The famous verse also. All my doubts are vanquished, and then he says, I will do vachanam, what is this famous? Karishye vachanam. That came after his doubts were removed. So if we have to serve Krishna, there should be no doubt. One should not doubt Krishna's statements in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, anywhere. That's why Gaudiyas, they quote Chaitanya Charitamrita a lot. Each great devotee have told amazing things. If you have Bhagavad Gita, the one scripture in the world, and all the books are burnt, still the world is saved because of Bhagavad Gita. And some people say the same thing about Bhagavatam. If all the scriptures are burnt, Bhagavatam is there, everything is there. But Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada says, if all the scriptures and all the books are burnt, if Chaitanya Charitamrita is there, everything is there. Because Chaitanya Charitamrita has something which other books don't have. They don't go into such details, which Krishnadas Kaviraj could. This whole Madhuri Leela, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu associates their special position in serving Krishna. That is mentioned only in Chaitanya Charitamrita. And he said also one more thing, that the world, many souls will come, they will read Bengali with great enthusiasm. They'll learn Bengali and they'll read Chaitanya Charitamrita. Because to understand, I don't understand because I don't understand Bengali so much. But there is a certain sweetness in Bengali, which is not there in Sanskrit. Sanskrit is sweet, it's by nature it's sweet. But Bengali has a special thing. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in Bengal. He did not speak to his mother and father in Sanskrit. He spoke in Bengali. That's a speciality. If Chaitanya Mahaprabhu could use Bengali language as his mother tongue, so it must be something wonderful. Like Krishna, they would speak Brajabasi. Krishna never spoke Sanskrit. His mother and father, no question of Sanskrit. All Brajaboli. And Brajaboli is a very sweet language also. Very sweet. Like Bengali, Brajaboli. So in our movement, like yesterday I was singing that Julan song. That song is basically written in Braj Bhasha. So this makes it very, very sweet. Because after all, we are aspiring to taste the sweetness of the Lord. That sweetness comes from these special languages where Krishna and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu express their feeling. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would go in this great emotional upheaval in Jagannath Puri, who were their assistants? Ramananda Roy and Swarup Damodar. And Swarup Damodar would quote appropriate verses from the different shastras to pacify him, because his mind is, going up and down, upheaval due to ecstatic emotions. And what are those emotions? Those are the emotions of Radharani, which she manifested when she felt separation from Krishna. And that was coming in the heart of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So therefore, he would quote, Swarup Damodar would quote appropriate verses to pacify him. Same with Ramananda Rai. But there were so many Bengali verses which is mentioned in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. They were specifically quoted to pacify Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So it's very important to understand these things. When Krishna is with all his energies, full Satchidananda, Satchidananda, his manifestations are called Swamsa incarnation. When he is only with Chit energy, then he is called Brahman. And when he is situated within Jiva Shakti, then his Satchit Ananda energies are present only in minute forms. This manifestation of Krishna is called Vibhinamsha, the Jiva. The Jiva is Vibhinamsha, the minute spiritual living entity. Or it can be said that when Sri Krishna, leaving aside all other Shaktis, is situated in his Tatakshta, Jiva Shakti. He expands as innumerable infinitesimal living entities called Jivas. So these are all beautiful way of analyzing Baladev Tattva. In Braj, Baladev is the son of Rohini, and in Mathura, Dwaraka, he is the son of Devaki. He manifests these and other forms to serve Krishna in all incarnations. In Krishna's incarnation as Ram, Baladev became Ram's younger brother Lakshman. As Lord Rama, he became Lakshman. Lakshman did not like to carry out some of Rama's orders, like taking the exiled Sita to the forest. But he was compelled to follow his elder brother's orders. During the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Baladev came as Nityananda Prabhu, the elder brother of Mahaprabhu. When Mahaprabhu would lose consciousness due to his being immersed in the mood of Srimati Radharani, Nityananda Prabhu would take care of him also, his Guru Tattva. Therefore, in Krishna Leela, Baladev decided, I will never appear as younger brother, I will appear as older brother. So I can take care of him. Therefore he appeared as older brother, Baladev. Because younger brother has to listen to what the older brother says. So Krishna also had to listen. It was Baladev's idea to marry Subhadra to Duryodhana. But Krishna did not like, but he cannot say no to Baladev. So he made a whole politics there. He told Subhadra to go and kidnap Arjuna. So nobody can blame it is Subhadra personally went and kidnapped Arjuna. So this is how Krishna accomplishes his purpose without disturbing Baladev. When Baladev came at the end, when he saw that his disciple Duryodhana was hit on the lower part of the body, which is not allowed in Dhanur Yuddha, so he specifically came and he wanted to kill Bhima. But Krishna said, he so expertly and convinced Baladev. Where were you there when things were going crazy in the camp of Pandavas? You were not there. Now you come from nowhere and try to protect your disciple. So Krishna has defeated Baladev, and then he said, well, actually I cannot do any argument with you. You are always right. So Baladev just walked out of the place. He never stayed. He went on a pilgrimage and he came there and then he walked out of the place. Krishna always accomplishes his purpose. In Venu Git, if you know the passages, when Krishna was going after coming from the cow herding pastimes, Baladev will walk in the front, his elder brother. Krishna will walk a little bit behind. Because from the behind, he will Tirchi Nazar, you know that expression? He will put a vision on the gopis and Radharani, because they are also looking for Krishna. But they cannot do anything directly in front of the elder brother. It is not, no etiquette is like that. So they used to do. So Baladev always knew Krishna's mood. Always knew. And he would assist and help in all possible ways to accomplish Krishna's pastimes. And when he cannot go beyond a certain step, he doesn't step forward. He leaves Krishna alone. But Baladev has his own Rasa Leela also. In the Bhagavatam it is mentioned. Revati is the chief gopi. So, because after all Baladev is also Purusha avatar, he is also the Supreme Lord's own expansion. So he has his own pastime in Braj, with his own set of gopis. And Krishna has his own pastime with the Braj gopis. So these are all, when it comes to certain things, they have separate plate of prasadam. But when they are together, they have the same plate of prasadam. When they go for this cow herding pastime, they would play this sharing prasadam on the banks of Jamuna. You see? So therefore, then they will share each other's plates with prasadam and everything. And finally, the wonderful pastime of Pralambasura and Dhenukasura also. Yeah, Dhenuka also, Baladev killed amazingly. And they got all intoxicated. Varuni. You know, nobody can question what Baladev does. You know, Janma karma chame divam yevam yo vekti tattvataha tyaktva deham puran. You cannot say now he is taking Varuni and you take your alcohol, it will be the same. No, you will have cancer in your body. Baladev did not have that. Because his body is Sachidananda. They don't have any side effects. Whatever they do, there is no side effects. Just like sun, it takes water from the ocean, from the river, from the gutter, from the urinary place, everywhere. But when it gives, it only gives pure water. You don't get rainwater smelling, no. Very rarely, nowadays in some countries there is some problem, they get fishes in the rain. But that is their problem. They have also a karma like that. And they all grab all the fishes and eat it up. But at least in India it doesn't happen. That pious bhumi, punya bhumi means like this, all auspicious things happen. So therefore, Baladev Prabhu is for us, it's a important tattva, directly Guru tattva, and it is mentioned, he executes orders of Lord Krishna in the work of creation and in the form of Lord Shesha, and he serves Krishna in various ways. According to expert opinion, Balaram is the chief of the original quadruple expansion. We read that. The first four, these forms are responsible for cosmic manifestation, whereas Ananta is responsible for personal service to Lord. Shesha is Ananta or unlimited, because he assists the Supreme Lord in his unlimited pastimes by performing unlimited varieties of service. See, Baladev is the servitor godhead who serves Krishna in all affairs of existence and knowledge. Lord Nityananda Prabhu, who is the same servitor godhead Balaram, performs the same service to Lord Gauranga by conscious association. Because spiritual master is the foremost servant. If he doesn't serve Krishna and he doesn't show us by his example, how can we serve Krishna? The spiritual master, we honor him like the Supreme Lord, but he is also the servant of the Lord. So Baladev is also like that. He is the Supreme Lord, but he is also servant of the Lord. That's why in Chaitanya Samhita, Ekala Ishvara Krishna Ara Sabha Pritya. Baladev, all the incarnations, all the demigods, you name it, all the jivas, we are all servants of Krishna. Only Krishna is the Ishvara. And elsewhere Prabhupada says, as much we take interest in serving Krishna, Krishna also likes to serve his devotees. Prabhupada himself says that. So he is the supreme servant. Nobody can match competition. You cannot compete with Krishna in serving. He is a Paramatma, he is situated within your heart, he is serving, giving intelligence. Who can do all this? Not with one person, billions of living entities. Billions and billions and billions of living entities. Yes, that's why Krishna says, Bhoktaram ekatapasam sarva loka maheshwaram suhoda sarva bhutanam gyatma maam shantim richyati. He is the supreme Bhokta. He is the enjoyer of all the sacrifices, all the fruits of sacrifice. He is the sarva loka maheshwaram. He is the proprietor of all the planets. But he is the dearmost friend. Surda sarva dehina. He is thinking about your welfare. Therefore, when Baladev enters into our life as Guru, then all our material life is finished. No more making plans how to become successful in material world. That shows us a symptom of somebody who has received the mercy of Guru. Otherwise, if we keep on making plans, how maybe I will try this time better, and this time better I'll make $1 million, then you are all entangled. So you have to become Nishkinchana and Akinchana, devotee. And that comes from the mercy of Guru. So we'll stop at this point. If there is any other, there's so much to read. I can read for another 2 hours what Baladev, wonderful explanation of previous acharyas. So are there any questions or comments before we do a little kirtan? Anybody has questions? इनको माइक्रोफोन दे देना एक है क्या?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you very much for your wonderful class. You mentioned that Jiva Goswami explains that Baldev comes 1 week earlier, or other way Krishna comes 1 week later, and somewhere it is also mentioned that Baldev is 1 year older than. So can you explain it again? I could not understand.
I'll explain to you what the acharyas have said. That makes it much more clear, more than I can explain. I hope I will. Okay. Today is a special day. Acha. Janma karma chame divyam. We read that. The nature of their queries. Those who haven't studied Bhagavad Gita under the guidance of Vaishnavas have various doubts. In Puri, a group of devotees from abroad would daily approach me seeking answers to a host of questions. This is another great Vaishnava, Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Maharaj. Western devotees came. When did Mother Rohini conceive Balaram in her womb? So what has been understood from the shloka from the Bhagavad Gita, Janma Karma Chame Divyam. Balaram is the first expansion, Prakash Vigraha of Sri Krishna. And from him expands Karana Dakshai, Garbho Dakshai, Shiro Dakshai Vishnu. When Krishna bewildered Brahma, he showed all the cowherd boys and calves had 4-handed form. So did these Narayan forms enter the womb and take birth? This is the question mark. Now, no. How can those who have not acquired any spiritual knowledge understand these topics? Devaki's 7th pregnancy, Balaram was attracted to the womb of Rohini. Can we fathom such a phenomenon? All these things are possible because Bhagavan is Sarva Shakti Man, the possessor of all strength. As a mere child of 6 days, Krishna so effortlessly killed Putana, whose body was 6 krosha long, simply by sucking her breast milk. As Putana's mammoth body lay lifeless, Krishna was without fear playing on the upper portion of his breast. The Brajavasis had to use a ladder to retrieve Krishna. Krishna was smiling, entirely unscathed, while the gigantic Putana lay slain. Krishna didn't even have to assume any huge form to kill her. Everything about Krishna is transcendental. So your question is, how did this happen that Krishna appeared 7 days ago? Because he has 1 year difference is there, no? Huh? Yes. Yes. See, the point is, Acharyas, they explain. Other day also I heard, Rupa Goswami, only Govindaji appeared to him. Radharani didn't appear. Radharaman, only Krishna appears. But all of them are Raga, Madhurya Bhav devotees, all these Acharyas. And they have, how did they accept Krishna without Radharani? Because we only worship Krishna with Radharani, never without Radharani. It's not possible. The Krishna must be there, along with Krishna, the Haladini Shakti must be there. So, the point is, sometimes, according to time and circumstances, Acharyas explain that. He appeared like this, he appeared like that, to pacify some devotees then. For example, Jiva Goswami has told that in the Gopal Champu, he explains that Krishna was was married to Radharani. Because in that time, when Jiva Goswami, there was a little bit turbulence among some Vaishnavas. You know, Krishna going with other people's wives and this and that makes him very immoral. So it is not, we cannot accept this. Krishna has to be the most moral person. So he was conceived, he was accepted as Swakiya Ras in Vrindavan. Krishna marries Radharani. But Gaudiyas, they don't accept that. Why? Because then the Paragya Ras goes through the window. So according to time and place, Jiva Goswami has allowed them, yes, you can worship, because their faith is only that much. You cannot ask them to jump onto some other level. It is not possible by them. So similarly, these pastimes which the question you asked, that sometimes they are explained like this, sometimes they are explained that way. You cannot apply your mundane logic. How to understand? When your chanting becomes pure, when your adhikar, it becomes revealed. Yes, this is possible, that is also possible. Everything is possible by Krishna. Therefore, we cannot approach the subject matter of transcendental truth by direct argument and logic. There is all logic to it, because if you accept Krishna as Sarva Shaktiman, then everything is possible. But if you don't accept that, then you have to try to fit it into your little brain, you know, how is this possible, how is this possible? I remember when I took up Krishna consciousness, when I joined, I was thinking, suddenly the thought came, I was fully convinced what Prabhupada was saying. And then suddenly I thought, who knows? Somebody must have written all these books. How can we accept? Because you know, when you are studying in modern schools and colleges, you get all these crazy ideas. Then I was a little bit having a little sadness in my heart. Hare, what is this? Suddenly this doubt comes, it sort of slows down my determination. Then Krishna helps again, because I was sincere to know how to understand this. Then the understanding came. If all the acharyas, Madhvacharya, Ramanujacharya, Chaitanya, all of them accepted, and they were all perfect sannyasis, who the hell am I to question this? Because their position is much superior to us. So, questioning is allowed, but pariprashnena sevaya. It has to be, seva must be supported. You have to do Harinam seva, chanting the holy name, and all other sevas, personal service to the Guru. You do whatever the Guru says, like Parusharam. We don't get such instructions from our Guru, kill your mother or something like that. We are getting simple instructions. Go and distribute books. Or collect a little donation for this program or that. More than that we don't get. They are real disciples, such sishyas. When Parashuram was told by his father, Jamadagni, to kill his mother and his two brothers who refused to kill the mother, they could not execute that order. And then Parashuram came, and without questioning his father, he just with a chopper, he just killed. Now nowadays they will call it as, what is it called, the terms now, special terms in English, abusive and this and that. So many words they have for this. But that was not the case, because Parashuram knew the power of his father. So when the father was extremely pleased, because he did it mainly to purify Renuka, because her mind got contaminated by seeing the Gandharvas in the lake where she was going to wash her clothes and collect water. She saw the Gandharvas from a distance dallying with their consorts. So suddenly some thoughts came in her mind. But she erased that and he went back to her cottage. Now, Jamadagni could immediately read that word, oh, my wife's mind is contaminated. This body is useless. She was killed. But then when Parashuram was asked to take the boon, he said, please bring back my mother and my brothers back to life without this memory. Can you imagine? That Jamadagni could do it. He said, okay. And they did not even know that such a thing happened, that they were all chopped off. Their heads were chopped off. Now, how can you understand all these things? By mundane logic, you cannot understand. You have to have a spiritual streak. Bhakti Unmukha Sukriti must be there. Otherwise, we cannot understand these things. We may criticize Parashuram or this or that, but Parashuram is Satyavesha avatar. He is not an ordinary soul like us. And Jamadagni was not an ordinary sage either. Very powerful. Your question is answered? Huh? Any other question? Huh? Bolliye.